that whole story is like that's pay-per-view, guys. Like, you don't get a lot of that stuff.
I'll write
No,
the book
but
one day.
How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel, True Savage, and I'm joined by my brother Walter Ross, aka Jedi Grand Bell, and we would like to welcome you to the Sci-Fi Society Video Discussion Volume fucking 30. We made it to 30, and me and Jedi Grand Bell will be discussing an Akira Kurosawa classic, iconic. It's gathered critical praise, and that film will be Throne of Blood, or aka Japanese, The Spider's Web Castle. And yeah, man, let's just get started really quick with Walter, my brother. 30, volume 30, bro. 30 discussions in a span of 5 years. And you said on the 8th of this month, it'll be 5 years since we started, since the Sci-Fi Society started.
Yeah.
And it's not going anywhere. Still around. And me and my brother Walter Ross will keep it going. You know, we don't live in the past. We keep moving forward. We it and another thing is too, I'm glad that me and my brother are doing this film, you know, as a true breakdown, because I doing my thing is I can't be talking about multiple films at once, man, because you just take away from, for me, you take away that the true sense and feel of a film like this. Like you can't just talk about this film in 15 minutes or talk about it for 30 minutes and think you'll get the full context of it. So that's why even a few months ago, even before the end of 2025, me and my brother, me and Walt, we thought about it. So you know what? Let's discuss and break down the Akira Kurosawa films. Not all of them. There's some that
Yeah,
are.
all of them.
There's some that I do enjoy, but there's some that are like a little, you know. But it's like it's a different flavor for everyone. But the reason why I pitched it to Walter about Throne of Blood, or AKA the Spider's Web Castle, is because it's just a great film, man. And me, and I'm gonna be honest too. The only film that I was really familiar with was Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. And who doesn't know the Seven Samurai? That's another iconic film made by Toho, and and Kurosawa himself. So
And can I say one thing about
yes,
that?
absolutely, absolutely.
I would say if anyone on who's watching this has never seen the Seven Samurai, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just gonna say, I'm just sorry. I mean, like I say, I for myself, who's a film lover, film goer, if I had never seen Seven Samurai, yeah, I should beat myself up for it. But I would feel like you should be ashamed of yourself because that is like filmmaking at its best. So just go through that.
Well, I mean, like it's like well, here's another thing. And me, I'm not too innocent on that either because I did not see Throne of Blood until probably I didn't see Throne of Blood. This is about maybe 20 in the 2010s, man. The first time I saw it, but it was more of just like it was on TV at the time, and I stuck with it for a little bit, and then it's not my thing. It's samurai stuff, but I was still working, I was still doing my thing, so I didn't
Right.
you didn't put too much attention into it. So when I bought the film, I think last year 2024, no, in 2024, I bought the film
Okay.
late 2024. I saw it again, and I literally told myself, I wanted to smack myself and say, why didn't I watch the entire film back in? I don't. It's very hazy, but it probably would have been maybe 2011 or 2012 when I saw it. So
Well,
I'm kind of guilty. I'm kind of guilty of that too. Like I didn't. And
but
Hidden Fortress, man, that one, oh, that one I hadn't. I probably saw that one when back in the '90s, but I didn't even see it fully. So I really couldn't. So I really couldn't say that it was a real true watch.
But you got to
So
understand, though. I mean, see, there's so many of these films out there, and you think like, okay, if you hear about them, like I say, a film like the anime Akira. When I first saw that, that was like 4 years ago, and that was my first time seeing a film that's damn near 40 years ago. I mean, 40 years old. So knowing that if you don't see a certain film until now, later in life, it's like, why didn't I see this beforehand? So with me, I kind of got you beat in terms of seeing Throne of Blood because I actually thought I've seen this film, but it turns out I ain't never seen this film before. I
how
actually,
dare you, Walter? How
yes, I
dare
know.
you?
I thought I saw this film, and sometimes I like, no, I've never seen this film before. So it's like this is my first iteration of seeing this, and thankfully, my brother Sci-Fi, you know, suggested it to me, and then when I actually saw it, it's like, oh, okay, and the only reason I think I really got into it because not because it's necessarily based on Macbeth, by William Shakespeare, but I feel because it's when he mentions some kind of supernatural aspect of it, I'm just like, supernatural. I mean, it's like because I actually said to myself, it's like that's usually something Kurosawa is not necessarily known for, or at least that's in my mind. He's not, but it works well in this film. And you, like I say, when we get to talking about it, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. You know,
I mean, but but there's nothing wrong with that, man. I didn't see Rashomon until last year. I didn't see Jimbo until last year. I didn't see Sanjuro until last year. So the only ones that I was familiar with were the ones that are the iconic ones that are known, the Throne of Blood and Hidden Fortress and and Seven Samurai. But I mean, it's just and it's not just the Kurosawa. It's not just the Kurosawa, man. It's Toshiro Mifune.
yeah.
And there's a lot of things that we're gonna cover. Once we start breaking down the film effects, because this dude, like, I mean, for one, Toshiro Mifune. Anybody who doesn't know him, come on, like, really.
He's a like look, he has not been. That's one thing I can say about him. He didn't keep his acting in just a Japanese realm. The man has stretched his talents far and wide to different countries and certain films. Like he started with what's his name? He was in a film called the Hell and Above, something like that. I can't remember the name. I mean, not the name of the movie, but the name of the actor. He starred with, that American actor. And it's, in fact, if you watch the opening of Kong Skull Island, it's telling that kind of tale right there, where a Japanese soldier and an American soldier must become friends in order to survive a hostile situation. So he's transcended from there to other things. And believe it or not, he actually got to work with legendary, of course, still living, Steven Spielberg in a film called 1941,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
it's not the best film of Spielberg's, but I had in fact, hold up a second before we go any further. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Come on now, yeah. This little film right here. It's and if you see the people on
Yeah,
there, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, it's a comedy. This is probably one of Spielberg's less known or less influential films, but Mr. Mifune is in this film, and trust me when I say he does a pretty fairly good job in doing what he does, even though it's a comedy. But I feel that this film here, does him a little service because he's playing it straight, which brings out more of the humor that is entitled in the film. So
yeah.
he's a very talented actor, but I don't think he really got the kudos that when I say the accolade that he deserved. But that to me right there shows like you don't need a reward to show how brilliant you are. You just need to know you get the respect from different individuals to say like this was a talented actor, director, writer, whatever. That's your prize. That's your kudos to who you are, because I feel like that's his. Because when I found out he had passed away in the late '90s, I was like, oh no. I mean, I thought he was still alive. I think it was the late '90s, but it just shows right there that his magnificence, like Kurosawa, stresses far and beyond what we thought in thinking of talent in terms of his influence.
No, absolutely, man. And it's like I said too. Like you bringing up Spielberg in 1941, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, the legendary Toshiro Mifune. And it's also like um, I never really get the chance to talk about the history of the Sci-Fi Society and how many films we've talked about. And the Sci-Fi Society, well, now is not relatively not it's not a young little group.
No,
5 years,
not,
5 years, 5 years is 5 years, and it doesn't feel like that. But uh, the and then even in my intro, you're gonna even in during the intro, you're gonna see um, a lot of thumbnails as I made for to commemorate the Sci-Fi Society. And so far it's like now with just how things change, the Sci-Fi Society is now the Sci-Fi Society Sci-Fi Society slash True Savage. And it's like things change. We have to
change along with it.
yeah, we have to change along with it. We evolve with it. And I can go back to some of the first live streams we do, because now obviously I don't do live streams anymore because I me doing pre-recordings now, and video discussions is a better way for me to implement what I would like to put during an intro, and what I like to talk about with whoever I'm talking about um, movies with either with some of the newer members of True Savage Gaming, and now um, we still have Alzilla, and we still got D Film Fanatic, and and we're gonna be doing. As a matter of fact, we'll be doing next month. We'll be doing freaking Chinese Connection, bro, the Fist of Fury, and
Yeah.
he's gonna be on that one. And but yeah, it's we there's a 30. See, there's 30. This is number 30, and yet there were still other movies that I talked about on other streams, especially some with Jedi Grand Bell, as a matter of fact. And it's there's I mean some of that I can remember. We still have to finish the second half of Gundam. We call it Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. We talked about The Crow. We talked about Conan. We talked about Castlevania. I did an interview with um, the lovely and
Linda Miller.
Linda Miller. I've had other people on the Sci-Fi Society, and they were fun, man. They were very fun. A lot of them were great. Uh, streams, man. Some hilarious as fuck. I'm telling you, bro. And,
Yes, they were definitely fun.
yeah, and me, I always truly deeply remember, you know, God rest his soul, preacher Linwood Tivis,
Yeah.
and it's and then the one we did particularly was the Northman, because he wanted to be on that stream, and he I brought him on, like, you know, kind of like last minute, and I just said, come on, man, come on, and that one was a good one too, the Northman, and
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
and
man.
then you know, the Predator, the Aliens done. Man, there's it's hard to remember all 30, man, because we've done a lot of Godzilla, a lot of Toho. We did. Um, you were on there too while we did um, uh, Pacific Rim the Black. I don't know if you were on there, but
No, I was on that one.
yeah, Pacific Rim the Black, and then there's some other good ones, man, and even recent ones that we did. You know, the Castlevania Nocturne,
Yes, definitely the
yeah,
Castlevania.
Castlevania Nocturne, and then Conan. We did Conan, and there's the Crow. We did the Crow,
Yes.
and then Pitch Black. Did Pitch Black,
Yeah.
and
And I think we did Underworld too, didn't
yes,
we?
we did Underworld. That, man, Underworld. I still to this day don't understand why, but that is already hit about 10K views, and I'm like,
It's-
you know, and people will tell me, like, man, like, you know, how did some of your videos get like past 500 views, and some people that I even know, you know, can't even get past 100.
Yeah.
And it's not like, and you know, and it's not like it's not like they're rookies, they're seasoned people, but I don't know, man. I don't none of that matters to me, really. None of that matters.
It shouldn't, man, because
Yeah,
it's not about the output of whatever you content you put out. It's about how do some people react to these things, you know, and if they react to them in a good way, and or just react to them at all. That's it. I mean, because I'd be surprised with the stuff that I put out and how many people react to it, you know. So I was like, hey, I'm just thankful that it does get a reaction, you know. I mean, if it gets, look, I put it like this: if I get at least 20 views, it's like I'm done something. If it goes past that, it's like, okay, there you go.
yeah.
So I look at
Well, me, brother, I don't even care if I don't even care if it gets 10. Like,
it.
I don't even give it. I don't even care if it gets 10 views. I'm like, the whole point for me has always been the interaction with the people I'm on, especially with you. And like connections like that are very hard to connections like that to even keep a connection, you know, or keep a great friendship with someone is very, very hard nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's like, but I'm talking about like true friendship, man. I'm not talking about just people who come and go in your life. It's like true friendship. And me and you have known each other since damn fucking 2018, bro.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
basically.
And but it's also the fact that, you know, talking about what we love and getting a thrill out of it. When we did Record of Ragnarok season 2, bro, we were talking about Thrud and freaking and Tommy Mon Ryden's fucking, you know, comic release shit, bro. It's like it's just it's so it's, and then we did, remember the one we did where you weren't on your game, and we did Mortal Kombat, and we did the
Yeah, Mortal Kombat, and I think it
Black
was
Widow,
was it
the Black
Black
Widow.
Widow, dude. I mean, I don't know how you knew. I don't know how you did it, but dude, I could tell my ass was way off base on that one. I was way off base. I was like, no, this.
I mean, and then, well, there was some too, like when we did the first one with the OmniViewer, and that was with Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, the very first Godzilla film I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that one, I wasn't on top of my game, bro. I was not on top of my game, dude.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think I even really noticed it, but I mean, it's like, well, as long as you have people that have backing you up, you know, that's all. But I mean, we all know that we're our own worst critic, so that's the thing about it. We can tell if we're effing up. So, it's like,
well, I mean, it's that too, but it's like now for me, to be honest with you, now that doesn't matter to me. Now, if I fuck up or if I do something, I don't give a shit, bro. Like, I don't care, dude. I'm not here for, like I said, we're not here to put on a show, dude. We're not here to freaking, you know, play a part. We're not here to we don't have scripts, bro. We don't have freaking lines. We don't got like all of that where, you know, I want it to be the perfect. No. That's impossible.
We're doing what we do best as far as what we do best. Keep it there. So.
Yeah, and raw and real, that's always going to be a part of this group, no matter what, man. And it's also there's also other things about this volume is that 30. Like, I never talk about it. Like, everybody tells me, dude, how come you haven't done you've already done 500 videos? How come you haven't done the 500th video? Or how come you haven't look at this was the highest talked about this was your highest viewed live stream? Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit,
shouldn't
bro.
matter. That's what I
don't care about none of that. I don't care because there's more to life for me than just being on a live stream, bro. This for me is love and talking about what we love, man. It's not something that I feel has to always, that's it, dude, this is everything. No, dude, there's everything in life that especially me that me as a person that I have changed as a content creator. I don't even really consider myself a content creator, bro. It's just
but because it's not about you gaining recognition from anyone or whatever. It's like, no, it's like, what you put out there, did you have fun doing it, and would you do it again if you had a chance to? It's like that's your prize right there, But I think some people get lost in the so-called fandom of it, and I was like, no, the second you allow that to be your only sense of consciousness that this is what you're doing and it's supposed to be, as you say, that is what you're trying to gain out of this, is that, well, then you lost the whole point of why you do this. You're supposed to be somebody who likes doing this, and it should be something that shouldn't tear you away from thinking that, oh, okay, I'm doing this because I gotta do this, to please. And it's like, no, because the second you try to please somebody, that's your first mistake. The person you're supposed to please the most is oneself, and that's how it should be,
Yeah, and you're right, man. And that's the whole point. Like, when it and you brought this up, we brought this up before, like, before we get into the film. When it becomes like a fucking job, when it becomes like work, that's when it stops being fun.
Yeah.
And that has happened to me on multiple occasions, and that's why I don't seek, that's why I don't go into, when somebody does, look, it's the new, they're doing the Monarch Legacy of Monsters season 2 shit. Now I gotta do my 2 cents. Like, fuck that shit, bro. I'm not gonna be doing that. I don't have to follow, or I don't have to, like you said, I don't have to, like we've said before, I don't follow the masses, bro. I don't please the masses, dude. I used to do that when I first started, and when I started telling myself that, dude, why am I doing it? Like, for what? Like, why should it matter for me that people have to see what I want, what I have to say? Fuck no, dude. I don't have to tell nobody nothing. I don't have to feel like I have to explain anything. I don't feel like I have to feel like it's an obligation to that's it. You know what? Well, dude, Godzilla Kong Supernova, I gotta get my shit in, bro. I gotta get my shit in. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that, man. Because and then we have those dumb fucks that, pretty much, who always already putting out spoilers. Oh, look, I found spoilers. Dangerville, D-Man, fucking all these other fucking,
my God, dude. Don't get me started.
I don't give a shit if they hear or see it, like if they watch it.
No, but the thing about that is, it's like, okay, you feel like because you are this geek, you're a fan, it's like you think everyone else wants to hear that. It's like, dude, you don't. And see, if you are like me, which you are, you like say we're old school, grew up in a time where you didn't get something spoiled right off the bat. It's like, dude, just because you might find this out right away, it's like, don't tell nobody. I mean, I'm gonna make this real quick. The whole situation with Godzilla versus Kong, when somebody leaked out the information about who's or what the monster was going to be in there, it blows my mind that the person who leaked this out, I'm not going to name the person's name, but I only found out because this other person who's a friend of mine told me from this person, and it's like, why did you tell me? Why did you tell me the fucking, so-called third act of what the creature's going to be in there? It's like, bruh, shouldn't you, as a person who's in this profession, who does this kind of work, shouldn't you be the first one not to divulge this kind of information? I guess he said, well, I mean, I'm untouchable. I can do it. It's like that shows right there that sometimes ego steps in, fucks with your brain, and you think automatically, hey, I can do all this. Well, then that shows right there that you don't give two jack shits about the content or the other people who love this kind of stuff. So this
Yeah.
is why I say I lose all respect for individuals like that, because it shows me right there where their minds are at when it comes to this kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's like I said, I don't care. You're right. I don't care what you put out. If you're any kind of content creator, I don't care. But if it's spoiler shit, bro, and I already done this. I've already lost a lot of people on the freaking on my Godzilla community page, bro. I already fucking told them, hey, I don't want to see that shit. So I'm removing you from my friends list, and I'm removing you from this group. That's why I'm not on any other groups. And I tell people that, and I've told a fuckload of people that, dude. And then people like what I do well is anybody on the YouTube now, because we're considered kaiju tubers. I don't consider myself a content creator really at all anymore. I don't. To me it's just fun where I get to interact with people that I'm close to and people that are true.
right.
I just whenever I see that shit, bro, when I see a video that I know it's gonna have leaks or it's gonna have fucking plot leaks and all that shit, I go to their fucking channel and I put not interested. And I've done that to a plethora of fucking people, dude. People that I used to know, people I don't like, people that I've already had, got into it with. If you want to avoid like kind of stuff, I mean, it's kind of hard to completely remove it from your feed. But if you do that, you put not interested, it literally removes it. It literally shows less of what you don't want to see or want to hear.
Yeah.
I do. That's why I hardly ever see any of it now. But there's still other people that just pop it off in there, and then now you start seeing all these other people who I've never ever heard of, who are just coming out of the woodwork. Oh, look, supernova this, supernova that. I'm like, I don't give a shit, bro.
Yeah.
And then to wrap up on that shit, bro. The whole point of the Sci-Fi Society, how I see it now, is just to me a gathering of friends and true friends, and talking about what we love, man. And I think this is the first time I've ever talked about something like that. Like, I've never talked about how many videos I made. I never talked about, oh look, this is the volume of this, or this is how many videos I've done, or this is how many freaking subjects I've talked about, or this is it. No, this is the first time I talked about or given any kind of like recognition to what we do, because I do it for this, because the Sci-Fi Society, and the few other people that I still keep in touch with, that's why it matters, because it's about us. It's about us being lovers of all kinds of films, and not just being single to certain genres. Like we want, like especially this, the Throne of Blood, and I picked Throne of Blood for 30 because it's something that I've always wanted to talk about, and something that to me is relevant to the time, and me being pretty much a true warrior mentally and physically throughout everything I've gone through, especially being a fighter, being an ex-fighter, trainer, teacher, mentor, going through a lot of trials and tribulations in life, overcoming a lot of trials and tribulations in life, and still going through things, but still trying to overcome them, make peace, and become one with who you are, man. That's why I love doing this, man. And I wanted to thank you, bro. I wanted to thank you, especially on this discussion, volume 30, bro. Thank you for being always true, man, and not being fake, and not trying to get anything out of certain, not trying to get anything out of me, or trying to freaking have any kind of jealousy or envy, or trying to exploit me. You've always been true since the first time we started talking, bro. And I mean, a lot of people don't have the balls to, and a lot of people who obviously tried, bro, are just. And this is through life, man. We've all gone through so much shit, man. But I never falter, bro, and I never ever let things like that, or any kind of negativity, people, what we go through, I don't let that get to me, man, because life is there's more to life, man, than just like, how can I put it? we have to try to be who we are truly, bro. Instead of, especially in a world like this, what everything's going on, man. That there's always going to be people that are going to try to bring us down. There's always going to try to be people that are going to try to steal that positivity and just try to suck it out of you. So me and you, as we always have been, bro, will always be straight. We'll always be straight to the point, and we will continue as a sci-fi society. And I wanted to thank you, bro, for always being true. You and D Film Fanatic, man, Alberto, um, Jose Betron, a lot of the new people in the True Savage Sci-Fi Society group, man. And thank you, bro. Thank you for being a true human being and a true friend, man.
Oh man, it's my pleasure, man. And like I say, it's just like I say. It's just like I say. You've been through the war. You already know what to expect. So exactly. But,
Now, my brother. Now let's get to this motherfucking film.
yes.
So, okay, I'm just gonna start with the introduction, the history of this actual acclaimed film, man, based off of Shakespeare Macbeth. So, Throne of Blood. I don't even want to say it in Japanese, bro, because I can mention Japanese, but it's a crazy kunun it's kumonoso, the spider web castle.
Mm-hmm.
Is a 1957 Japanese epic Yidaigeki. It's a Yidaigeki film co-written, produced, edited, and directed by Akira Kurosawa, the legend, with special effects by the legendary E.G. Tsuburaya.
I was wondering, did he? I was gonna say, did he do the effects on here? But I didn't see the credits. But I guess it was small stuff. That's why I didn't really see it. So yeah.
And the film transposes the plot of English dramatist William Shakespeare's play Macbeth 1606 from medieval Scotland to feudal Japan, with stylistic elements drawn from the No drama. If anybody who doesn't know who No is, like, if you want to try to do research on it, it was a form of
Kind of a dance or something like
yeah,
that.
like not like kind of like a dance, but kind of like when actors want to go back to stage, it's like a stage. It's more like a stage play.
Yeah,
And,
it's
more like stage kind of. I'm not comparing it, but it's if anybody who knows like a lot some Japanese culture or Japanese historical like stages, and that's also kabuki theater. So it's No is something different. It is drama. It's also drama.
It's very. I mean, because when you say the buki, I mean, I figured like, well, maybe that's what it is. But when I actually looked it up, it's like, oh, it actually is. It's something like that, but it's different from the buki. So I was like, yeah.
And what I mean by No, it's not N-O, it's N-O-H. So it's No.
I was specify that very clearly, because when we say no, people go like, oh, it's like no. I was like, no, it's like yes, it's like he spelled it N-O-H. It's like
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and the film stars the legendary Toshiro Mifune and Izuzu Yamada in the lead roles, modeled on characters Macbeth and Lady Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I want to name out some of the cast, because like I said, it's volume 30. We hit 30, my brother. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Hit 30. We're gonna keep going, bro. Well, keep it underground, bro. Let's stay underground. Fuck that shit. We underground, motherfuckers. Underground, and we like it that way. That's how we like it. We like it underground, motherfuckers.
We like it like that.
No, but okay. So some of the cast, okay, like I just mentioned, Toshiro Mifune, and his name is Taketoki. Yeah, now I'm struggling.
Trust me.
Taketoki Washizu, and then there's Izuzu Yamada, Lady Asaji, and then we have Takashi Shimura.
Yes,
Noriyasu Odagora. Okay, now I'm getting it. And we have a Godzilla Toho alumni.
We just named one of them. But I'm gonna say
Akira.
not just him, but the one before them. Easily.
Takashi Shimura and Akira Kubo
Mhm.
as Yoshiteru Miki,
Yeah.
and then we have Yoichi Tachikawa, and we
Yes.
have Menuro Chiaki and Takamaru Sasaki. And yeah, it's just getting harder, bro. It's getting harder wrenching these motherfucking names.
Trust me, the name.
Yeah. Like,
Look, it ain't the names. It's just that if we're not fluent in pronouncing them, like me, especially, I'll
yeah.
mess it up quick.
Yeah, and trust me, we're not making fun of them. We're not saying anything
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
This
That's
is
why I
hard.
say
Yeah.
it's best if I let someone else who can actually pronounce it better. I let them do it because the second I start, it's like, yes, you said. I feel you show more respect if you don't announce them because it's like I want to give respect to these these legendary individuals because they gave so much of their time and effort to bring these kind of characters and films to light. And I was like, dude, the second I fuck up their names, it's like, yeah, you being disrespectful to them, and I
Yeah.
don't want to do that.
So Washizu, okay, so we know that Washizu is the lead character of this film,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts off, in the beginning as to start off the film. I do like this because it's kind of for me. You hardly see it in movies, or maybe the fact that I don't remember. But what I do like when the opening of this movie is that it's in. Remember when it did say this movie was um, made close to Mount Fuji, like right there by Mount Fuji, man.
Yeah.
So what I do, and it's black and white, so it's 57 on black and white. So with the opening of the movie is you go into this like kind of like it's like an eerie what the music, bro. It's an eerie type of freaking music, man.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of dust, a lot of mist. I don't even think that mist and dust was fucking. That's real shit. Like that to me, I
No,
think
I think that was real shit.
that's
Yeah.
real shit, bro. So the opening is with you go into this it's like it looks like a headstone, right? But it's a pretty large headstone, and it looks like it's enclosed with a gate and everything like that. So the opening of it is, and it says in Japanese, I think it's in kanji.
Yeah.
It says here lies Spider's Web Castle,
Yeah.
and that's how we open it up. And I like that because it gives that holy shit, what happened to it. You think about, okay, well, there's a castle, like where is it, like what the hell happened to the castle? So then now we open up, and well, you know what, I'll let you start it off, man. You started off from the opening.
Okay. Well, I mean, we get all this information where this is where and if you think about it, this is like the tail end of what happens, the aftermath. But then we flash back to where all these events will lead up to this, where Spiderweb Castle was at. So we see that the great Lord, he is having some of his subordinates, at these, opponent. Well, not so much opponents, but adversaries. They're leading these garrisons to, defeat these enemies. Because that's the thing right here about this film is they have three different sections of his kingdom, if you want to say. And they have one castle, I would say one fortress, another one's at the second fortress, and the one with the third fortress. So anyway, basically these individuals are guardians of these particular. They're the heads of them and everything. And of course, Mifune is part of one of them, and the other one is played by a guy who's played by who's the character is named Mickey, but he's a Godzilla alumni. He's the one who's been in Godzilla Raised Again, and he's a part of the garrison also of another fortress. So anyway, kind of get in the mix of it. The Lord, the great Lord, saying, it's like where are all these things coming from, and people let him know where all these things are happening. But he's got his best men out there to defeat these individuals, and it's pretty much touch and go, whatever. Okay, so in the midst of all, which is kind of a segue. It's kind of funny saying in the midst of all this because there is a mist around this. That's one thing about this film. There's a lot of mist, and I think it's very effective. You know, and when this has been black and white, it really works well for it. So anyway, they somehow get lost in the rain. Mickey and what's his name in the movie?
Washizu.
Washizu. Say it again. Sorry.
His name is Taketori Washizu. That's Toshiro Mifuno's character. Yeah,
but I'm gonna say Washishu. I'm trying to say not to say it.
Washizu.
Okay. So him and Washishu, Mickey and Washishu, they get lost in the rain and they come across, and it stops raining, and they come across this very eerie, almost, well, you might as well say white because it's in black and white, but I think if it was in color, you can still see that it was in white. This very eerie, very, ethereal, ghostly, like hut or whatever, it's like basically a shed. And in there is this pretty much a ghost or evil spirit spinning, if you're going to say spinning in web or twirling some silk
yarn.
Or whatever. Yeah, yarn. Yeah, spinning yarn. Thank you. Spinning the yarn. And at the first time when I see this, I'm thinking, is that a man or is that a woman? But I found out it's a woman.
I couldn't think. You know what, bro? I couldn't get it either, man. Because they said it was a woman, but I'm like, I didn't look like a woman. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it was very androgynous. It's very non-binary that you can't tell if it's a man, if it's a female or male, But then again, I think that's the whole point. You're not supposed to guess gender. You're supposed to say, is this a very effective entity that's being brought to light as we see in the movie? So the two come upon this particular ghost, as I like to say, or spirit. And the thing about this is that I just say it starts spinning this.
Yeah, let's call it it. Let's just call it it.
Yeah, just it. But now I was going to say it's spinning this yarn because that's literally what she's doing. So it's literally spinning this yarn of saying that your future is going to be where you're going to be heads of greater power in the midst of your great lord's situation. But the thing about it is that she tells them that you're probably going to be more in terms of you're going to be part of something more greater and bigger and everything. So it tells them these things forthcoming, but it doesn't tell them exactly what it's going to lead to and how it's going to get to that kind of power. So, and this is the thing I love about this moment here. It tells them all these things, and they're kind of like, who the fuck are you? It's like, what are you? What are you? So there's this shot here where, it's talking, and then all of a sudden it just disappears. It just vanishes. Okay. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I say I want to talk about in terms of filmmaking, because this is 57. Yep. This is how, like Kurosawa, like any person, they use their artistry at the best way of they doing it. And I feel that when you mention type of performance and acting, I feel that this is the reason why it's done so well here. The camera literally follows them through the shed, through it. They open up the particular door. They walk through it. They walk like maybe 5 or 6 feet past it. Okay, the camera follows them, and when they look back, the camera pulls back and shows that it's gone. Yeah, it's like, where the fuck did it go? This to me, this is a very effective moment. This to me, it shows how effective in terms of filmmaking you're doing, because this is literally something that they do on stage when they're telling a story. If they want to show the effect of this was not here to begin with, all you got to do is make the audience realize, like, okay, let the camera follow the main characters, and when the actors, the characters don't pull back themselves, they just stand there, but the camera pulls back, and when you see it gone, you realize, like, This is just a special trick. All they did was it's like whatever they did in terms of when they followed the characters in past a shed off camera. You already know this had to be some very lightweight material to get, because if you look at the look at the structure, it looks like very heavy, very, you know, grounded in terms of that's not going to be moved. But when you pull back, it's like gone in 60 seconds. It's almost something like the. I'll give you a good example. If you've ever seen Poltergeist, there's
Yep.
a moment in that film where the mother, Joe Beth Williams' character, Freeling, you know, the chairs and tables are like, you know, they're sitting like they're supposed to be sitting at the table. The camera moves back, you know, and
It's
when it
movie
comes
magic, man. It's movie magic.
movie man, I mean, go back and you see all these chairs standing on one another like this. And it's like, how the fuck they did it? Simple state. I mean, simple. Yeah, you say movie magic. Simple sleight of hand. That's exactly what happens in this moment here, where he's like, "Where did this damn hut go?" You know, but as I say, people were quick, get the damn thing out of there. So I wanted to bring that up because I felt that was a very effective way of storytelling, even for 57. You know, but anyway, moving on.
But can I add? Can I just add that
Wait,
I wanted to add, I wanted to also add on there on the wardrobe, man. Excuse me. I remember mentioning it before we started, man. The centipede drawn on the flag, bro. That is
yes,
that like back in those times, bro. Even if it was feudal Japan, dude. You see motherfuckers like that in an army gathering up coming at you, bro. That's gonna intimidate you, and it's gonna intimidate anybody.
yeah,
And I like that Akira Kurosawa was using that that probably his literal historical way for not only soldiers to be identified so you don't shoot your own soldiers. It's also to me a symbol of intimidation. Like this is who's coming. This is this clan. This is that clan. And Washizu, he's Washizu. That's his name. Just the what he carries, the centipede. That's just it's very it would be intimidating in those times, I believe. Hence for the movie. And I'll just add that I think when it comes to, I mean, I don't think I think he did use, of course, he did use no as a let's say a blueprint for the acting. But I think what they did, like in stage, remember in stage when they don't want people to see, they dim the lights. They dim
mhm,
lights on certain props or certain things in a play, so that way they don't see nobody moving them out of the picture. So when they put new
yes,
shit in there, and remember with movie magic, man, especially with film, when they wanted to do certain things to make it look realistic or action or actually use movie magic back then, they used to take the from the the what do you call it, from the when you watching a movie, what's the film, the actual film, they cut film, they cut the film, look at it, and then they paste certain shit to it,
oh
and then
yeah, yeah.
they roll it up. So that's I'm pretty sure they did that in this film. Maybe, I don't know for sure, but it's
It
that.
actually, yeah, but like I say, we'll get there when we get
Okay,
there.
but keep going, man. Keep going. Let's
But
rush through this,
but
man.
no, as we get as we get into it, they like I say, Mickey and Wasusu, they pretty much have observed this and everything, and they're heading back to the cat. And this is a good shot right here. They're actually outside the mist again.
Yeah.
Not this exaggeration. I'm kind of being that's kind of a pun, but it's exact same thing. They're actually that's a lot of things, but there's a lot of mist in this film. I mean, I think that's just for effect, but I think it's to let you know that there's something about the going ons of a person's mindset and whatever. It's like something's covering up the real agenda, whatever. I think that's just an analogy that Kurosawa was doing. But anyway, they're outside the uh, the castle, and they're like I say, they're only like not that even like a mile. They're like maybe 200-300 feet away, maybe not that, maybe more, something like that. But they're talking about what they experienced and whatever, and they just discuss these things. But at the same time, they just kind of throw caution to the wind and not think about it anymore. Because it's like maybe that was a dream, maybe that was just hallucination. But they get to the castle, and the Great Lord is there, and he presents them
Suzuki Lord Suzuki Lord
Suzuki
Lord
Lord.
Suzuki. Yeah, Lord Suzuki. Yeah.
Lord Suzuki, and he pretty much gives them, pretty much congrats and awards and everything, and and in time, they pretty much are in a very peaceful mode in terms of where they're at, right? For a moment, because
Well,
remember, because go ahead.
can I just add one more thing, man? Remember, when when Suzuki they get to the castle, Suzuki's there. He's congratulating them and everything. You can and then when Suzuki, the Lord Suzuki gives Washizu the actual katana sword,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what I'm gonna do for you. This is what you're gonna be. And he looks at it. His eyes go like, what the fuck? That premonition just told me this shit.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like the premonition just told me, oh shit, now you're gonna be this lord of this, and then Miki was like, was gonna be all of this, and they're like, they look at each other, and you see how they're walking when they're walking away from him, they're like, what the fuck?
Did this come to pass? This come to be
Yeah, this
realistic?
the premonition or spirit that saw them just said this is what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
So but go ahead, man. Go
But
ahead.
no, this is the thing, it soaks in, and they feel like if that happened, then what else could transpire from all this? So time passes, and I want to bring this up real quick. This kind of reminds me, but then again, I think this may not be so much off the cap, thinking of like this is where they got their inspiration. Kind of makes me think of, because see, they've kind of defeated their so-called, you know, opponents in a sense. The Great Lord has, and if anyone's ever seen Gladiator, 2000's Gladiator with Russell Crowe, that's something where he's a military guy who pretty much defeats a certain, I think, defeats the Cur or something like that, and it's pretty much done away with certain people. But in the midst of all this, we discover that there's still danger inside of his own house, where it's here. The only reason why the Great Lord's situation is not really settled in terms of there's still danger is because some kind of hunger starts to build up inside of Washizu. And this is partially not just because of his so-called, influence, but he has a very, and I'm just going to say it, a very poisonous, very disease.
A snake with tits.
Yes, basically. This is exactly how I thought of her, because she is like, this is how I look at it too. This is almost biblical, because it's almost like Adam being influenced by Eve and twisting his so-called perspective on certain things, and just keeps on spitting venom, telling him, I don't feel like this should be it. If you did this, you could be much higher. You could be much. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, woman? Shouldn't you be happy of where you're at? Shouldn't you be satisfied? But this shows right there how we mentioned before, the 7 deadly sins come into play. Greed is starting to affect him more and more, and ambition is starting to come in. It's like all these things are starting to tear him apart, literally, little by little. So again, time progresses, and it's you think, like, say, come on, dude, it's like you should not be going this way. It's like you like say you done. I mean, your masters pretty much gave you such a good deal. You should be happy, but you're married to somebody who's dead, who's basically has a deadly tongue, and it's more influential. It's tearing. It's literally. It's almost like the devil whispering in your ear. As I look at it, that's basically what she's like. And the funny thing is, she knows about the prophecy from
Not today, motherfucker. Not today.
Yeah, not today, exactly. And she knows about it because he told about this thing.
Yeah. Well, can I just add? This is enter Lady Asagi. That's her name, Lady Asagi. She's the one. She's like Walter said. She's got that aura of just a viper, bro. A viper, poisonous. She bears her fangs, bro. She bears her fangs, saying like this is something like it's for him. Being so, especially even a samurai, being that strong minded, is still easily influenced and literally like she even sometimes she not only pesters him, she what's that word called, she goats at she literally
Yeah.
tells him, well, she literally calls him, oh, so what, you're not a real samurai if you don't do this, you're not a
Mhm.
she insults him,
Yeah.
she talks down to him, and that's like, man, like, I mean, he has that, in the sense of the movie, he has that powerful presence,
Presence.
right?
Yes.
Presence, yeah.
But she's
She
emasculating him.
goats at him. She goats him, bro. She goats.
Yeah.
She goats him at him. Like, come on, man. Like you should do this. You should do that. And she has, and if you notice, she has black teeth.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so that was something that was very, very, very
It's a
normal,
tradition. Yeah. Very
issue
normal
for Japanese women, or Japanese women with power, Japanese women who married men with power. So yeah. So just wanted to say that, man. Yeah, but she's got
No.
that influence, bro. She's got that super negative, like green red mist type of an aura around, about her, bro. That's just so, like, it's not just him. You can tell him. He even says in this film that he's content with where he's at when we're heading towards the film where she enter Lady Asagi, and he's like, okay, I'm content where I am. This is where I am. Be patient. And she's like, you're not going to be patient. We're not going to be patient. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You want power. You want it. Just like you said, the seven deadly sins. To me, she's greed. She's greed, and more greed, bro.
Mhm.
He's pride. He's taking so much pride.
Yes.
He's taking the sin of pride. She is greed, bro. Greed.
But can we say, and I mean, and I know this is probably going way outside the box with what I'm saying, what I'm about to say, but then again, I feel like it's very on point with this. Isn't this kind of funny how this is kind of a, not so much a foreshadowing, but showing the day's relationships in terms of how men and women interact, in terms of if a man has certain things going on for him, if he's in a relationship with a particular woman that sees that he has a lot but's not satisfied with it, it's like, I want more. I want more than what I got. I mean, I can have $1 billion right now, what you have and everything, but I want more than that. It's like, you're not content with just this. You're not, this is not enough for you. It's almost an analogy of what we see nowadays. But I mean, it was probably way back then like that too. But it's like, here is just a small sample of how relationships are, and I'm pretty sure that's not what Kira was going for in the first place. But it's almost how individuals like you and me or anyone else might interpret it in terms of when you watch, because we already mentioned how she does what she does and does these influential things, but it's just incredible how it comes to be,
Well,
everything.
well, I'll just add to that too. Like, it's kind of, it does make sense what you're saying. I just say in my I thought about this, man, and I just think in my mind that it's mostly women who, you know either mostly women who already have kids, who have failed relationships, failed marriage, whatever. These women, are have good jobs, or develop, or go to school, or get their good jobs and everything, right? And now it's like, okay, well, you know what, I've already been married for so long. Now I'm single again. I'm gonna do what I want, whatever. But then they start. But to me, how I see women now, bro, this is just how I see it. Women now, and I think you might agree, they want the men that they are interested in, or the men they want to date. They want the men to be equal to them, and that's bullshit. Like, that's bullshit. If you want to be with it's like it goes both ways. It's men or women, like, but women nowadays, I see myself, they want the men they want to find, they want men that already can, even though those women can already have good jobs, this and that, they can provide and take care of their family. They still want a man who's going to provide for them.
Yeah.
And that is where I can agree with you on that point, because I've met a lot of girls, bro, that, you know super cool and everything, super good and all this. But once I tell them, hey man, I'm already retired and I already got I got my benefits and I got my shit.
I'm happy
And
wearing that. Yeah.
if I'm not no goddamn border patrol agent, I'm not a fucking millionaire, or if not a fucking cop, or I'm not a fucking what do you call it, a business mogul or some shit. Oh
Yeah.
no, they buy, like, they don't even say nothing. I just, okay, and I told a few, say, hey, you know what? I mean, that's me, man. This is what I am and who I am. You don't like it? There's the fucking door. But I had to point that out, because I think just in my mind that a lot of women nowadays, they want men that are gonna, even though they can provide for themselves and have enough to take care of their family, more than enough to take care of themselves and their family, they still want to be taken care of themselves, which is, yeah, it's like you said, greed, bro. Greed is yeah. They're, like I said, I met some really girls that were really cool in the beginning, bro. Once I tell them my situation, they're like, bye. I'm like, well,
Get done.
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna cry, fucking, it's no sweat off my dick. But yeah, but I wanted to say also, man, that but we gotta remember too, man. This is like feudal Japan. Probably the time was feudal Japan. So what they already had was way up in fucking
luxury or riches,
way up in riches and comfort, bro, compared to the fucking villagers and all, and famine, disease, the slums and ghettos have been around since feudal Japan.
Yeah.
So that's where you, that point that you mentioned, like, it's not enough. Like, it's not enough for her. And I'll just take it from here, but I want to take it from here real quick. Yeah, okay, so enter Asaji. She starts saying, okay, you know what? Well, he says it with pride. Yes, my lord trusts me. He believes in me. He knows I am a true warrior, and I am a what do you call it? A willing soldier. To follow orders. And she says, no, that's not enough. No, you should. I mean, I don't know if he kind of told her. I think he did kind of tell her what was going to happen when he saw that premonition or that spirit.
Yeah.
And she says, no, well, you know what? If she said that, if this whoever said that to you, then you should follow up on it. So, she starts giving him ideas about, well, you know what? If you want to be Lord, you gotta kill or assassinate Suzuki.
Yeah. The head, yeah.
Yeah, Suzuki. Yeah, it's not Suzuki. It's Suzuki with a T. So it's it's Lord Suzuki. And she says, you want power? You need to assassinate him. Oh, how am I going to do that? And then just the part where he starts to actually believe what she says, that's where the, like you said, the snake is literally speaking into his ear.
It's like I say, it's twisting his mindset on that. It's like,
so, but dude, she's not without fault. She sets up a lot of this shit. So
that's the thing. She partakes in doing these things. I mean, like I say, when Suzuki comes to visit where his the
garrison fort,
where he's at. He's staying there. He's in comfort, and she's got the bright idea to say, okay, the guards that are guarding him, Suzuki, he's Suzuki. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? See, that's what I say. I don't mean I can.
It's okay, bro. No, Suzuki. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm just pulling you.
Nah, but that's okay, because I'm fucking it up. But anyway, no, she has a hand in doing it, because, like I said again, when I mentioned the whole Adam and Eve motif, she's literally taking the apple, giving it to Adam to do whatever. Well, we're here. She has a hand in doing the mechanics of pushing what needs to be done in terms of making him so-called greater in a sense, because
Yeah.
that when she tells him, it's like, if you was to give these men, his guards, sake that's drugged, and
That's
everything,
tainted. Yeah.
it's tainted, you can do something, and everything. And that's why I say this is the moment here where I love how this is, and this is in black and white. I think this works better in black and white than it does in color. I think that's one thing. See, I'm gonna tell you something. As a person who grew up watching a lot of movies or shows that was in black and white, I was like, why don't you feel in color? You probably had it, but I realized that's a style, or that's a method in explaining or showing the effect of how light and shadow really works well. And there's a moment here where what's her name again?
Asaji.
Where she goes to get the sake. This is a moment. It's pretty much a one shot, one take, where she goes. She opens the door, slides it open. She walks in. The camera doesn't follow. It just stands static right there. She just walks in, and you see how the darkness just bleeds over her, as if to say, we're showing that she's going into darkness. She's going to do some heinous something. But when she comes back out, it's almost like it's not showing that the darkness has left her. It's like she's coming to the light, where it presents her with what devious things. It's basically, it's a motif of saying the light is presenting the darkness of what her treachery is, because she's holding this canister of sake in a mist. And like I say, that's why I say I love how films are done in terms of how you frame them, and how you been people like me, get the gist of it pretty well, although others would be like, they might interpret it a different kind of way. But we see that her treachery is darkness. It's very, you just say it, it's very evil,
Yeah.
and we see that we see
But,
sometimes.
but I was gonna say, yeah, but I was gonna say, like I said, like, she says that, okay, I'm gonna taint the sake, and I'm gonna go send it out to him. Here you go. Here's some sake. Relax, whatever. And this is where Washizu takes the opportunity and goes and kills Lord Suzuki. And I like how, I don't know if they mentioned, I don't know if you heard it, but they mentioned, like, where they were staying at. They were staying at in this room where there was bows. There was a thing of bows, and there was a little lamp. There was a little lamp with a little light on, and you can see in the back, like, there was blood there previously from a previous. There was blood there from a previous lord who maybe, I don't know, maybe had the same kind of madness that Washizu was, when he would have talked to that spirit in the forest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they never mention it. It's just, they never mentioned he was just a prisoner, but he was killed badly. So all that white and things was just they try to wash it, but it's still blood on there, still splattered everywhere.
Still stained,
so,
yes.
So when Washizu takes his chance, he comes back walking backwards with the spear. You see the spear is full of blood.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that spear is full of fucking blood, dude. It's full of blood, and he's walking in there, and he sits down, and then Asaji's trying to take it. She's trying to take the freaking spear out of his hands, but he won't let go of it, because he knows he just realized, holy shit, I just killed Suzuki, right?
Mm-hmm. The one person who's had, yes.
Yeah, the one person that trusted him, the one person that gave him all that shit that he has, he literally killed him. So, and she finally takes it out of his hands, and she takes it out of his hands, and then she goes and she starts washing her hands right behind where that thing is, where that so-called lord was killed, and she starts looking around like doing like a dance, not a dance, but she starts doing some kind of weird movement or something.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so she's off the rocks too. Obviously, she's fucking out.
Oh no, dude. She is way off. She's way off base. Yeah.
I mean, she's off her fucking mind, dude. So right away, it's like right away he just literally like zaps out of some kind of trance, and then he goes and she tells him, you got to let him know. Okay, so what he does, he sets up the guards, goes there and says, "What happened? He's under attack. He's blood." And then he right away he attacks the guards to make it look like he is protecting the Lord, right? So he goes, stabs him, kills him. You know, they can't even get up because who knows what the fuck she gave him. So he literally, you see how he stabs him right, right between the shoulder right here, but I mean, it's like that's fucking artery shit. So,
and I'm just going to add, before you go any further, I want to add too, that was actually real. That's one thing about the sword, the stuff that they use. Those were real katanas. Those were real, blades and everything. Only thing is they had something underneath the, the padding there, so they wouldn't get stabbed, because they're trying to really enact and all that. But believe it or not, the actor that got stabbed actually turns out the puncture actually went through further than it did through the padding, and is told that he still has the scar to this day from that impact that which Mifune gave him. So it's just want to throw that out there. It's this those little anecdotes of how you're trying to give the best realism, because let's be honest, the realism of how they ride horses, do certain things, use sword play, shoot arrows. It's interesting that pretty much primarily everyone who's acting in this film knows how to do these things, not because that they have to or anything like that. It's just that's a natural trait of Japanese culture, or their culture, their heritage that they learn through time, and for this film it's very well based. And it's interesting knowing that all of these individuals know, because I mentioned before, the actress that's playing the wife, the way she holds the spear and does what she does, that's only because she knew how to do this in previous films back in the 40s. That's how to practice these things. So these actors are well versed in both arrow shooting, sword play, spear, and riding horses very well. Because if you really look at this, there's not really too many, stunt performers in this film. Kind of like a call on the Chinese, how they, do a lot of their martial arts in the films where they're fighting, blocking. They get knocked down, especially like Jackie Chan or something like that, getting knocked down, and they hit hard. Especially back here, Japanese are no different. If they fall off a horse, they get hit by something. It's like they're doing that shit themselves. There's no stunt doubles or anything like that. They actually are doing that shit for real, and that just shows their commitment to the craft. That's all I like to say. So I just want to, because you got to
lower it.
Yes.
Because you got to remember, the actors. You got to remember, they didn't have the so-called equipment or the things that here in America we usually do. We have stunt crews. We have takes. We can say we can have things that can be dubbed in or whatever. These individuals didn't have that. They didn't have that luxury. It's like kill or be killed. You either going to do it or you're not. And when you see them, that's why I say that's why I love about especially Japanese cinema. They really bring out a realism. And look, let's be honest. Even when it comes to a lot of the old Showa Tokusatsu, any of the Tokusatsu or Kaiju films, they bring out a realism that where if you watching it and you feel like it's like, wow, that's kind of interesting how they did this. That's kind of interesting how they, it's like it looks kind of real. That's because these actors and actresses are actually doing these things, and they're doing it because it's like, well, they don't have the luxury like we do in America. But to me, I think that gives them more credit in doing the things that they do. And when you see the stuff that they do in terms of giving their 100%, that's probably why the acting is so flawless in my mind. I've seen so many, acting, films from Japan that, I'll be thinking to myself, how is it that here in America, you can look at some of the acting that they do and it looks like, oh, they just phoning it in. Whereas here, they're really, really giving their 200%. And it just bogs my mind that to this day that I feel like Asian cinema is way better than American cinema when it comes to terms of acting. I mean, I'm not saying that we don't have some talented actors, performers in Western civilization. I just feel like I feel because of all the anguish, all the things that Asians have gone through, whether it be Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, etc. I feel that they give out 100% because they pretty much have gone through a multitude of things that brings all that surfacing to the come to the
Yeah.
surface to actually express that. So
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of going off rails with it, but I feel that that's something that needs to be brought to light, and that's why I was saying the way Mifune does what he does at that moment when he stabs the guard. That's the character really showing that. But it's more realism when you know that they have to do what they do because it's more embedded in them to do it because they don't have the mechanics of Western filmmaking. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, yeah, exactly, man. No, yeah, I mean, you're right, bro. And then, I mean, I agree. It's but I mean, it's Japan, bro. They created all of that, especially as far as being, the katana being probably the best type of sword ever made in history. So they take they take pride in their craft. That's what they were best at. So Mifune wanted to do that. So, but anyways, moving on, brother. Um, they he kills them, but then he ends up killing the guards. Made it look like they did it. Why didn't they do their job? They killed it, whatever. So he killed the guards, and he becomes Lord. So
yeah,
this word gets this gets word. The word spreads out to Miki, and Miki's like, well, okay, well, shit, he's the Lord now. What the hell happened? Well, the Lord was, he was killed, he was assassinated, whatever. And you know, he's like, okay, well, remember, they're childhood friends. They've been friends since childhood. So yeah. So, but what does Asaji do? Asaji, she says, no, you know what? I don't. I doubt his loyalty now. I doubt his loyalty. He's gonna want to probably do the same thing to you and probably take. He wants now because now he gets now Washizu gets the what do you call it he gets the spider's castle. What I'm saying? He gets the spider's web castle now, so he's there now. So, and even when he's taking, even when he's bringing up, when they bring up the great lord, they're both there, and he's like, "What the hell happened?" Well, he was dead. I was there. I don't know. I don't know what happened. He was assassinated. So I'm pretty sure there's still a little bit of like, oh shit, that's kind of cliche. Why he died? Why he died? He died in your, in your
care.
Your fort, your where he stationed you is where he died. And it was a pretty big fort. So he goes up. They're going up there and they're carrying the Lord right in a coffin, whatever. And Washizu and Miki are like, okay, they're following up. So what's the best thing to do now? This is where, like I said, Asaji goes into his ear again and says, you know what, I doubt his loyalty. I don't think he's loyal to you. His loyalty is going to wane, and he's going to want power. He's going to want power because remember the premonition said that Washizu was going to become the lord of the what do you call it, the Spiderweb's castle, but his son was going to take over, become the heir. He's going to become the heir. So yeah, Sasaji says, Sasaji's getting in his ear, and he's getting irritated. What Sasaji's getting, man, you're saying, okay, I killed my lord. What? This is all we can get. What else do you fucking want? He's like, you want more, right? You want more. So, and this is crazy how I like the background, and I like the staging is that they made the cloud. They made a white cloud where the main quarters are, right, where they're gonna have the banquet. So they're gonna, he says, well, you know what? I'm gonna name Miki's son my heir because we don't have any kids. So they don't have no kids, right? So this is where and then right, she looks at him. He looks at it, and she literally stares, not even looking at him. Stares like, well, I'm pregnant. I'm with child. And he's like, what? He's like, I'm with child. And he's like, he literally looks at her like, are you serious? I don't believe you. But he says, well, I'm with child. So she says, who says that your heir or our heir cannot, rule this castle? So it's just more greed is what she's saying or whatever. So they he says that, starts to believe her. Well, you know what? I think I should take Mickey and his son out of the picture. And they take, he goes through great lengths to do that. They're gonna have a banquet which he invites Mickey and the son, well, and the son, right?
Yeah.
But then, right when they're they're drinking sake and enjoying themselves, they're having a play. I think it was kabuki. Like
Yeah.
there's an old man like singing and singing, doing the dance, whatever, and I do like how it's like Mifune was literally having to stay in that, make his face like that the whole time, like
Yeah,
this.
that's one thing I feel he's
Yeah.
good at. He's very good at contorting his facial expressions. I have to take my glass off to really express it. He just like,
It's like those pictures. It's like those masks of the paintings where they're always like this.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
right. I mean, and he does that so well. It's like my God, dude. I mean, how does he do that? But some people have a gift of doing that, contorting their muscles and their faces to really amp up. I mean, if you think about it, Jim Carrey is very good at doing those kind of things. I mean, he's more comedic, but whereas Mifune, he's like really, like I say, amps up. And like I say, I'm pretty sure he's probably done some comedy, but I feel like the drama that he done brings out it more here in terms of what he was expressing. But yeah.
but not only that, but I mean, it's just that's how Akira Kurosawa wanted it. So
yeah.
So he does. That's the way he wanted it, and I think, and there was makeup. You can see a little bit of makeup on his face,
Yeah.
like he has makeup on his face, but it's to like to put those
It's
grooves.
slightly.
Yeah, but that's how some of the masks are. We've seen those masks in Japan, like
Right.
that ward off demons or anything like that. But like yeah, so he's there and he's like, okay, he's already thinking maybe I made a mistake, but. It's like when he finds out that they're not here yet, Lord Mickey and and his son are not here, and okay, whatever, this and that. So out of nowhere, they're just there. It's kind of a boring. It's kind of a boring to me. Look like a banquet anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then all of a sudden he's looking, and then he sees where there's the empty slots of Mickey and his son that are supposed to be there. Mickey in a ghost form appears, and he freaks the fuck out. He freaks out. He's going crazy. He's like, "What?" He pulls out a katana, his sword, and he stabs the
empty
I forgot what
space.
it's called. No, not the empty space, but there's a
Oh, you mean
a wooden. There's a
is
wooden.
that wood or is that kind of like
he didn't stab it, but there's like a wooden there's like a what do you call it? Those fucking
padding or not padding, kind of a seating.
What holds up the fucking walls? I can't believe I can't spit that shit out.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's the structure. It's the structure of the wall. The wood that's holding the fucking the thing up, dude. Yeah, the pillar. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the pillar's there. So, and he's like, okay, and then Asaji's like, wait, no, he's had a little too much to drink, too much sake, whatever. This happens to him.
Excuses, yeah.
So he goes back, sits down. He's like, yeah, sorry, I'm too into my drink. So
fucked up.
He goes back, sits down, and then he thinks everything's good. Mickey shows up there again in a ghost form. He's there again, does the same shit. Now they tell him, you guys go retire, man. Go retire. Asaji's like, man, you're making a fool of yourself. You're doing this and shit. I saw what I saw. And then towards the end, when he tells everybody to retire, there's a soldier going in there with a bag. Mm-hmm. Goes in there, literally tells him it was Mickey's head, but they didn't get the son. So it's kind of out of the bag now that
that they think look, when you said bag, it's like when you say it's like that the term the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. Mickey was killed, but the son, they couldn't kill him. So
yeah,
they couldn't. He ran away, or he got away or something. So now literally cat's out of the bag that there's a conspiracy that this fucker is trying to assassinate whatever. So he's like, well, shit. Now it's like, okay, well now they're gonna know. Now they're gonna fucking know. So he kills his own soldier because the soldier couldn't kill the son.
Couldn't kill his son. Yeah.
So he kills him, stabs him with a katana, and then they're like, well, and then more bad news. Their kid was born dead.
Born. Yeah.
He was stillborn, so he was born dead. Like, oh shit! Now he's starting to lose his mind even more, and she's kind of out of the picture for a little bit, and he starts to gather like, well, you know what? They're gonna come after us. They're gonna come at, but they forget that during one of those during a chase going towards Spiderweb's castle, two of the other lords that were in league with Suzuki, they joined up forces with Miki's heir.
Yes.
So they're gonna start some. They're probably going to
start a revolution in a way. If you think.
So now, Wajizu is just going off of pure paranoia. Yeah. He's going off of pure paranoia, man.
This is where the madness really kicks in, and
it could have been different if he didn't listen to his fucking wife, but she literally was, like you said, she was the puppet master, man.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, she's out after this. She's out of the picture for a while. So
yeah, she's out. So
they start to he starts to form up, say, okay, you know what, I already know what's coming. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. Because he has to tell them. Because if he didn't tell them, then they're not gonna follow him. So he tells them, well, you know what, let's get all the garrisons over here. Let's do all this. And they start finding out that some of the garrisons that he ordered that would come are getting wiped out. So now he's starting to stitch stuff up, saying, look, he gets his people, right? And he looks at Spiderweb's castle, and there's like, there's a little there's windows and shit where there's arrow slits and stuff where you can see, right?
Right.
And you can see the forest, you can see the forest and all of that. So when he starts to concoct like what's gonna happen, he gathers everybody, and I'll leave it from there, man. Let's go to the point where the omens start to show up. There's omens. And
I was about to say, that's where the shit.
Yeah, well, start where the point where he's right there, right? And they're all talking whatever, they're drinking sake, whatever, and now all of these birds go into the thing.
Yeah, because like I say, he's losing it. He's pretty much out of it. I mean, this is where we see his madness really take him over, and we see that
he killed his childhood friend.
That's why I say, dude, you cut the motherfucker. You cut the friend. It's like, what the fuck, So he goes back to the so-called evil spirit, and he goes back and says, "What the fuck? Why is this happening?" I mean, I thought it was supposed to be, and the spirit pretty much tells him everything is being fulfilled like it's supposed to. And like I say, but the thing about it is your reign is not going to last, and you are going to be how that thing put it, it's like the trees are going to pretty much be your downfall in a way. I mean, and so to speak. And he said the trees are going to rise against me. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's not so much a metaphor. It's more like they're going to. I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, we're going to spoil it anyway. Trees are going to be how it's going to attack them. And in this midst, we're seeing different people that have been killed. This entity pretty much changes into other people that have been killed or been betrayed by him. I mean, that he betrayed
other spirits, other lords and other people that the spirit had actually probably manipulated.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And all that.
Yeah, like there was, because some of the ones that showed up, I never seen them before. I was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, that's what's happening here. But like I say, all through all this, he's pretty much like I say, the birds come in. We see that all this stuff is happening. It's like the birds. I think there were crows or ravens. I think there were
everything. There were some crows, pigeons, mostly pigeons, I think. But
all I know is that he is trying to make sure his men are worthy, to follow him. And like I say, dude, it's like the men are actually having second doubts. I'm sorry, they're really literally having second doubts about, is this man really doing what he's doing for the greater good, or he's just kind of losing it, because you got to remember, if the second you start to show anyone who's in leadership start to show some kind of sense of weakness or anything like that, yeah, they're going to lose hope. They're going to lose respect for that person, and they're going to like, I don't know if I can follow this person. And then again, it's like, is this person legit in terms of what his or her actions is? Because let's be honest, we've seen a lot of films where people who seem like strong, they're very aggressive, they're doing everything, but in the end,
they crack under pressure.
And when they can see, and look, these men, they're not the so-called idiots of so-called people. It's like they can literally see that they'll follow someone who's got a good agenda or whatever, but even they'll follow somebody who's not exactly, all there, but when they can tell that something's off about you, they're just like, we're having our second doubts about you, about what's going on. So time progresses, and like I say, he's keeping them amped up. He's keeping them, whatever. But it's falling apart little by little, man. And there's a moment where he's, I can say, at the top, not so much the top, but the top of the part of the building that he's on, and he's, it's like, you gotta keep the regiment up. You gotta keep this in terms of, because we're about to get attacked, we're about to get overthrown, but you got to show that you are, with me, because there's a mutiny or there's a betrayal afoot, and you got to show that we got to do what we have to do. And he mentioned something about the damn prophecy. I was like, dude, should you have said that? Should you have mentioned that shit? That's not something you should tell. That's just showing right there that, oh, you're one crazy motherfucker.
I mean, not only that, but he's telling him, believe in my rule, believe in my rule, believe in my reign, believe in that I am your ultimate leader, and he's praising. It's like he's literally telling him to praise him while he's saying this, and like, you don't do that shit, dude. You tell him, like,
yeah,
you don't, especially you don't tell him about the fucking prophecy, because now they're gonna know you're fucking full of shit.
You're fucking crazy.
So it's like, and he starts saying all that, and he goes back, right, and it's back and forth, because he's also praising himself, but he's also like, he's losing his mind. He's already lost his mind, but he's already, they're already starting to think like, man, well, okay, if I follow you, I follow you because you're a true Lord.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, but you gotta remember, he hasn't been the Lord that long. He hasn't been the true Lord that long. So, and a lot of them knew, and a lot of them already knew that he assassinated the true Lord, who was Suzuki. So
yeah,
a lot of them already knew that. So it's kind of hard for them to really take into account that, man, you know what, you assassinated him. You might have did it for a reason, but now you're like, this is fucking insane that you're afraid of some goddamn prophecy that a ghost told you, or a spirit told you. So, and it's kind of the irony of Macbeth, right, in Shakespeare, because it's really talking about madness. But
yeah,
I mean, it's really about madness, but it's like, but it's just like I said, Shakespeare and this is that's the what's it called? That's the X factor for this. And
right. And we, and as you say, keep
going. But keep going about, like you said, when he's up there, telling them, trying to rile them up, trying to get them, whatever. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't see anybody coming. And he even goes to night, where even some of his some people that overnight, they're saying, we can't see nothing. Of course you can't see nothing, because
they're well hidden.
And plus they're using trees, dumbass.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is why I say, and that's why I say I love how, not just so much how this, because this is something history they've shown them doing these kind of things in the past, but this shows how much ingenuity as far as Kurosawa is in terms of doing a lot of this stuff for real in camera, because when you do see that, it's like, because look, I mean, look at this. I mean, like I say, I'll get to the set before, but knowing that they actually use trees to actually get inside and kind of, use it as a Trojan horse to ambush, the castle and whatever, but it's so amazing that, it's like we don't see nothing, but at the same time, it's like, dude, are you for real with what you're saying about this? Because like I say, we see a scene here where the men are having doubts about, because they're seeing. I mean, when I say they're seeing, not seeing something, And then, like I say, there's a moment here where, like I say, where all these birds are flying in here, and just pretty much, and to me, it's almost like a sense of, this is, because one of them says it's like an omen, an ill omen.
Yeah.
And like I say, he starts to tell him, it's like, your cowardness, who are you thinking this is? This is supposed to be a good omen. He's like, are you for real, dude? No, something unworthy, something supernaturally not good, and it's happening here, and it's not good for you. Yeah, it's like you say, there's a moment where before the birds all start flying in, and they're drinking sake. He's getting more intoxicated, and I think this just adds on to his fucking madness in a sense. But I'm thinking to myself when I watch.
Remember, he also sees Asajj. She's already lost her fucking mind too. She's trying to.
Yes.
She keeps talking about that. I'm trying to rinse the blood off my hands, but it's still there. And there's no blood on her hands, but the blood is still there. It can't come off. It won't come off. It's not coming off. It's not coming off. And there's no water. There's no. She's not even washing her hands in anything. There's no water. There's no in that bowl. So she's already lost her fucking mind too.
See, this is again. This is what you call so-called. What's the word? It's symbolism. This is pure symbolism in showing that this is a person who I feel, and I'm not even sure in my mind. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I'm not really sure. This is where her so-called guilt comes into play mentally, and it shows that whatever she did before, she was okay with. It's almost like the Cain and Abel motif.
I think it's regret, bro. But
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's more regret.
I don't think it's guilt. I think it's regret, like straight regret. Like guilt is one thing, but regret is another thing. Well, of course, guilt and regret, but I think it's more regret that she shouldn't even have told Shizu to do all that shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the end, though, I feel it's not funny, but I feel in the end that it's all washing off of her, and she realized, like, yes, bitch, you don't have blood on your hands physically, but metaphorically, yes, the blood is on your hands. Yep. Because you had a part in this. You are the so-called gatekeeper to this whole bullshit. Okay,
you're an accessory. Yep.
Yeah, you're the accessory. In fact, I mean, like I say, I'm not saying that she's not 100% guilty of this, but she's the reason why some of this shit. And I'm not saying he's not guilty of, making up the plan, but he went along with it. You allow this woman to poison your mind and move you into fucking madness and become whatever you become to this stage and where you're at now. So you up shit creek now. So it's like
without a paddle.
Without a fucking paddle.
Yep. So it's like, and I was gonna say also too, man. Now we'll get to our favorite part of the film, bro. But still got to mention that because of her, he became tyrannical.
Yeah,
he became tyrannical. So, now we go to the part where he goes back up to his little thing where they can talk. I think it's the arrows where it's like a structure where they have the arrowmen, where bowmen and stuff.
Yeah,
right? He goes there. He starts, remember, this is for me, and I will become victorious thanks to you and all some kind of shit. I don't remember.
Some bullshit.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say because you don't know what he's saying in Japanese. There's some stuff that I recognize in Japanese, and they have the subtitles, and they're not saying it right.
It's not. Well,
yeah, it's not right. It's not right.
You gotta remember some things get lost in translation. But
yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but we start seeing. He starts saying that they stay quiet, right? They stay quiet. You don't see or nothing after he says that. We're ready to this and that, and then he looks, and then he goes and he looks into that thing, and he sees the trees are right there. They're like right there, and there, and then right when he's about to say something, boom, he gets shot by an arrow.
Yeah,
and then he takes the arrow out and he throws it at him. You're turning against me. You don't believe in me. And then this is my favorite part of the film. Eeriest, scariest, freakiest part of the film. Mm-hmm. Nothing is said, and arrows just start flying at him, and and this is where he starts yelling in horror and fear and agony, and he gets shot a few times. And I don't know how he's still alive, but with the armor probably. But he starts getting shot. Right, he starts getting shot, and all of these arrows are coming, bro. All these arrows are boom, and this is the craziest part of the movie. Some of the best special effects, and I'll tell you why. Those arrows, some of them were actually really shot, but the majority of them were on through a string.
Yeah,
they were on through a string, and they just pulled it real fast, so it looked like an arrow's coming at you like really, really quick, right?
Yeah,
genius for the time, bro. Genius for the time. E.G. Tsuburaya, bro. Mastermind, bro. Mastermind.
And let me say this. This is the thing about this. Like I say, yes, some of them were real arrows, and somebody was asking Mifune, how come you look so scared in the terms of because when you see all these arrows being shot or in the wall, like how you performing certain real fear in that moment? He's like, because I was really scared. He's actually saying I'm really scared in this moment. I was scared because it's like some of these people were, like I say, the way they were shooting, and like I say, some were on wires and everything. But some of these guys who were shooting him were really expert, artists. Shooting arrows. I'm just saying. I'll just say shooting arrows and everything. And I'm just like, damn, boy, they really got some good accuracy. But at the same time, the ones that have got accuracy, I'm just like, shit, dude, don't hit the man because he's primarily without no helmet. You hit him once, this guy's gonna hit him. And like I say, the ones that actually do hit him, like I say, Mifune was protected with so-called padding underneath where it can hit and just go through a certain amount, and that's it. Now, that's one of, did you say, Tsuburaya's effect here. This is the moment that I was just kind of like, I was not expecting this shit. I was like, oh shit, did that just happen? Because he's getting shit with all these arrows. But what's the moment that takes him down? What's the moment that really is the so-called Achilles heel moment? You know which moment I'm talking about?
No.
It's the arrow that goes right through his neck.
Oh yeah. Well, no. That of course that, but
dude, no. But see, here's the thing about it. This is, like I say, this is years before computer graphics and all that. This is a simple technique. It's just simple. It's just editing. All they did was shoot a particular arrow in frame for a sec, and they just hold Mifune's head for in that shot one, and then when you see the neck, when you see like in his neck, it's like perfect cut. All that was editing, and it happened so fast. You feel like, did they fucking shoot him for real? But
yeah, it looked real. Yeah, that freaked me the fuck out too, bro. I was like, what? I was like, how would they do that shit in back in the 50s? Yeah. I'm like, because when I first saw it, I was like, whoa.
Because I had to do a double take and watch it again. It's like,
no, I didn't. I didn't do the double take, but I just know it makes sense. Like I said, remember they take those and they piece them. They take parts of the film and they piece it together. But I don't know if they did it on this one, but if they probably pieced it together, they just put prosthetics on each side. So they did prosthetic, but they have to make sure it's accurate and do that. And And when he does that, when he turns like that, bro, when he turns and he's like he can't talk no more because that's like you said, Achilles' heel shut him up finally because he was screaming like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
And when he was grunting and yelling, that's really him, bro. That's him.
Yeah, that's
especially when he got shot in the back. Remember when he got shot in the back, he went, "Oh,
dude!" I had missed that the first time, and I'm like, when I looked at it again, it's like, oh, he got shot. That went through him. It's like, yeah. So
he got shot in the back, and then like you're saying, but dude, like I said, like that was genius for the time, bro. That's genius, bro. Genius. And I don't think anybody aside from what do you call it, E.G. Tsuburaya could have done that back then.
No, I mean,
because they have to work with what they work with, man. I mean, Akira knew the directional part of it, remember, but E.G. Tsuburaya was mostly just for the special effects. But who would say that Tsuburaya couldn't direct either?
No, he does. But see, that I think that's a misconception right there. Is that people think he's only known for like doing special effects, where it be matte paintings, miniatures, kaiju, all that stuff. No, he actually could direct. He actually could direct actors and everything. He could do those kind of things. He could do those little.
Yeah, but like you said, man, going towards the finale now. He gets shot when you mentioned that shit. I was like, oh fuck, bro. I was like, when you mentioned that, it looks phenomenal.
Yes.
But now the fog, and remember, they didn't even say it. We start realizing it's his own men that are shooting at him.
Yeah,
because not only that, I don't think it was part of what it was part of what the spirit said, the evil spirit said, or the demon said, whatever. But they turned against him because they knew he was out of his fucking mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, not just that, but they said that's like, isn't that what you did to our great to the great Lord?
Yeah. So they knew. Maybe it was already planned that they were going to have a mutiny against him. We don't know yet, but I just think that they also knew he was off the rocker and shit. So he was. But anyway, the best part was where the fog starts to come back in. The trees are getting closer. Fog's coming. He's shot, bro, and he's still walking down the steps with a fucking. You see him hobbling with the arrow in his neck,
and he's just like,
yeah, and he's like, it's like, and he's walking like that, and then he goes down all the way down, and he goes all the way down, and to the floor, the final floor of the what do you call it? The spider castle, the spider's web castle.
Yes,
finally collapses, dies, and then they show that what
the trees are actually at.
And the Great Lord Suzuki's allies are out there, coming into the castle using trees. Make sure to put the trees on the carriages and cover yourself. Put a tree on your back and all this shit. And that it's pretty much what the evil demon said, or the spirit said. But it's the irony of the fact that he didn't have. If he would have listened to his own, if he would have listened to himself, if he would have listened to himself, none of that would have happened. But it's like the irony of Macbeth. So it's like, but I mean, like, it's, and then, like I said, like here comes the eerie sound, the eerie music, and the eerie, like, dude, the music just fits the fucking film.
Yes.
And then and then we're saying, like, it was the total prophecy what that spirit had said, that he was, you're gonna be you're gonna be the great Lord, but you're also gonna die.
Yeah.
So, and what was it? Greed. It was greed, and it was greed and pride that got him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what took him over.
But like I said, and I'll let you go just with the last parts of your last thoughts on that film, man.
Like I say, I mean, like I say, it ended the way it began, which was what we have this chorus, singing about the tragedy, the delusion, and all these things, and how it would be your downfall. I mean, this is something we've seen in many cases. In other films, that, like a good example, like Scarface. Scarface is a brilliant example of how one man's ambition, so-called greed, something called rise to power. You can have all that, but guess what? Eventually that power is going to corrupt you to the point where you can't control it, and once it takes you over, then it's going to corrupt you to the point where it's going to cause you to fall, and you're pretty much going to be taken out. This film is a brilliant blueprint of, and I'm not saying Macbeth wasn't because that's exactly what Kira was getting from. He was getting from Macbeth, but he took what Macbeth what Shakespeare had done and made it his own, put it in feudal Japan style, and just shows where your ambition for what you want goes off the rails if you do it the most dishonest and just treacherous ways of getting so-called power or position or anything. And it's a cautionary tale to anyone. If you're trying to get so high on the hog in terms of where you want to be on that pedestal, what's it going to cost? And are you willing to pay that particular price in getting there? So this
Or
film,
can you even pay it? Can you even pay it?
yeah, exactly. Can you pay it? Because if you can't pay that, yeah, you're going to pay a bigger price than you think it is. And usually, sometimes it ain't necessarily death. Death will follow, but what comes before death? Because you see that, first he loses a child. His wife loses the child and everything. Then he pretty much
Lost his best friend.
lost his best friend because
Killed his best friend.
yeah. And then, like I say, he goes into straight madness, goes into straight delusionalville. And then, like I say, his men turn on him because, well, they see someone who is beyond crazy. So it shows that death was coming, but he had to go through agonizing moments before he got there. And I think that's just a tribulation of knowing that that's just
That's the irony.
exactly. Thank you. Irony of why some people shouldn't they should try to be satisfied of where certain things bring them in life. And if you're at, like I say, like where we're at, as far as, YouTubers and everything, all that stuff. If we're okay at where we're at, I mean, to the left, we can go a little higher, do a little bit more, we can, but wherever it takes us, be satisfied of what you're doing and how you're getting there. Don't be trying to, don't try to keep up with the Joneses, as I like to say.
Overcompensate. They're trying to overcompensate for something. Don't write checks your body can't cash.
Exactly. Don't do that, because the second you do that, oh, you're gonna pay a price. You ain't gonna pay. It's not gonna be the price that you think you're gonna pay. And like I say, his character was one of those individuals that pretty much did that. And well, I think it's one of Mifune's better performances. But as I said before, I've seen him in many films before, and since this is my actual first time watching it, because I actually originally thought I saw this film, but it turns out it was something else that I saw him in. I realized that this film is a perfect example of what you can say to be cautious of in terms of how you should not want something and knowing that you're going to be paying the price for it later. But the film all in all is a brilliant example of Kurosawa's direction, his storytelling, his style of putting certain things in the frame and kind of giving its own motif and certain literary little things that you can interpret it in your own mind. Because I know when I watched this film, there were so many things that were subtle that most people it would go over their heads like, what was that about? What does that mean? I kind of got it. I actually got what it was saying or what it was interpreting to me, because what I interpreted as, that's how I saw it. But in the end, though, this film, man, it is a brilliant example of filmmaking that I wish, unfortunately, which I'm pretty sure is not, which Hollywood would still do, but you only got a few crumbs of directors who actually do that. And sadly, this is one of the reasons why I feel that nowadays, I feel that the Asian cinema is a little bit more robust than here, because good filmmaking, man. It's just a lost cause. It's almost a
Yeah.
lost cause, and I'm just sad that it's not as robust as it is now. But you know what? I'm glad that films like this we have either on physical media like this or on streaming where we can watch it and realize like, hey, that art is never lost. So this film here, I give it chef's kiss for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, you're right, man. Like I said, on the points on that, like it's your rise. It was a story of a rise and self destruction of a man that was ambitious, but was also influenced by someone who was probably more ambitious or more greedy as him. And the irony, bro, the irony is just it's horrible. Killing your best friend, um, killing the Lord that you trusted, and you killing the Lord and your inspiration who taught you everything, killed him. They killed your best friend, and then your wife loses a child, and then now you're lost to madness. Like he was just lost to madness, and that for me is one of the best parts of the film, man, because it has the samurai aspect and the aesthetic of it, but it was more of a battle within yourself that you lost. That it's a battle that he was losing and he lost,
Right.
and it's like I said, seven deadly sins, but it was just two deadly sins. It was mostly just pride and greed. But it's the irony that kills me. I mean that gets me on it, and that's why I like the film.
Yeah.
I gotta give it a 9.5, bro. Like a 9.5. Um, just because it has the samurai feudal Japan aspect and aesthetic, but it's Shakespeare, bro. It's fucking Shakespeare, dude,
Yeah.
and that's why I know, but I mean I give it a 9.5 because I wish it would have been in color, man.
Well, see,
But
this is why I say,
but hold on.
go ahead with
But black and white is still would probably be the more suitable thing to watch it in because it's 57, right? But I don't know, maybe it's just me being picky, but I imagine how vibrant it would have been in color, bro.
I
Like
can imagine that.
especially that it's called Throne of Blood, and then or the Spiderweb's Castle. Like that's just I know it's a little thing, man, but it's like I said, like I'm not a big fan of black and white, but I respect the times. So that's it. Go
Well,
ahead.
and just to add them with the black and white, and truth be told, everyone is entitled to their opinion about how they feel about either color or black and white. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, like I say, it was a time, but then again, I was a kid and I didn't understand the reason why certain things were further black and white, or that's just how they had available. But as you get older, and this film came out in the tail end of the 50s, and they were still. I mean, there were pictures that were done in color. There were some pictures done in color, but some of them chose to still film in black and white. And I realized that was an artistic mood, mode for them. And I realized, like anything, because the last black and white that Akira did was Redbeard, which is actually my favorite of his films.
Yeah.
And I realized that, and that came out in '65. So it lets you know that, and believe it or not, there were still some films that came out in the late '60s that were filmed in black and white. So it lets you know that everything that is, you can do things in color to some great degree, and that's okay. Even Spielberg, great Steven Spielberg. We mentioned Spielberg before. He directed a film which we all know that was in black and white, which is Schindler's List. Totally in black and white. But you think like, well, why would you film this in black and white? This was a artistic way of capturing how war is pretty much presented. It has no color. It has no sense of you know whatever it is. The black and white tells you, it actually, in my mind, the black and white actually is an effective element in bringing you inside the world of what, especially with the character, Liam Nielsen's character, Schindler, shows how everything is black and white, but actually you know that there's actually blood being spilt, because there's a moment in that film where there's actually a spot of color where he sees a little child running with this red coat on, and you see it is actually in red. It's not in black and white. So it shows that Spielberg, like Kurosawa, they know how to use anything that's either black and white or color to express certain things. And to me, I didn't understand that until I got into my 20s, really my late 20s, and realized like I see, I get it now, you know. And it's just like it's like again, nothing wrong if you choose mostly color over black and white. But again, I feel that it's a expressionist of artist
Yeah.
expressive thing,
Yeah.
because remember when I said that Black Redbeard was Kurosawa's last black and white film. He would go on to do films that were in color, and one of the best ones in my mind that he did in color was Ron. I feel that was
Oh yeah.
brilliantly done well, because it's the color in there was like, ooh, so beautiful. But now, had that been in black and white, it's like you wouldn't been able to capture the lushness of what the costumes and the landscapes and all these things, and everything.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, it's not so much about that's what you have available in terms of filmmaking. It's more about how do you want to express how the surroundings, the characters, and how light and shadow is expressed. And I feel like I say, it's and I think that's up to the individual too, the audience member who watches it, how they feel. Because like you said, you just gave your opinion about how you feel. You wish it could have been in color, but had they done it in color, would it have made a difference? Probably so. Would you have liked it any better than it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can.
Well, that's the thing. Like I know it's a small little thing. I know it's a small little reason to not give it a 10, but I mean I'm still giving it a 9.5 because it even in black and white it's an amazing iconic film, man. I just tell myself how much better it would look if it was in color.
In color.
But it's different. But does that mean? But this is just for this film. Like what now? Would I want Seven Samurai to be in color? Absolutely not.
See,
like that's what I'm saying. This is different for me. It's different films. Like there's films that I can see because I loved Throne of Blood, but it's a little reason. It's just 5 points, bro. Still a 9.5. But that's just me. It's not me being picky. Well, man, maybe it's me being a little bit picky, but that's fucking me. And if anybody don't like it, then kiss my fucking ass. But
go ahead.
But I'm just saying, it's still an amazing, iconic film that has global praise and acclaim. So, but it's just me. Like I would love to see a version of this movie in color. But does that mean I'm gonna want Seven Samurai to be in color? Absolutely not. I love Samurai. I love Seven Samurai color. I love the first Gojira 54 in color in black and white. I want Seven Samurai black and white. There's other films that you watch that are in black and white. So it's like the Wizard of Oz. I thought it was gonna be a fucking all black and white, but then it turns into color. So it's like, but it's different. It's everybody's tastes are different. You know what I'm saying?
It's that and that's what it rolls up to be. It's like it's a direct or basically a storyteller's initiative, how they want to do that.
Exactly.
Bring it to the point. And I just want to add this real quick because I know we'll get to the end of this.
But still, Chef's Kiss.
Yes, still Chef's Kiss, exactly. And I got to give it a 10. See, me personally, I got to give it a 10 because how well made it is. All and everything. The simple fact is, I can say I can kind of nitpick a little bit with certain films that I feel like shouldn't been used this particular way. Like I'll give you a great example. The H-Man. This is a total, Ashura Honda total, Takasasu kind of filmmaking. It was filmed in a widescreen aspect. It was in 2.35 ratio. I'm gonna be honest with you. This film, to me, I mean, I know that they were using what was available in terms of giving more expression, but honestly, I don't think that film should have been filmed in a 2 point in anamorphic. I don't think it should have been filmed in widescreen. I think it should have been filmed in the aspect ratio that the first Gojira was, to me, because I feel like, yeah, you got that. It's like, yeah, you're seeing the world and shit, but this is how I know that I'm a filmmaker, film lover, and all these other things, because I feel that that should have been done with less of that kind of expression with a widescreen, because that didn't seem like it deserved to be in a widescreen format. It seemed like it needed to be in a more closed, or say more claustrophobic moment, because when you see how certain things are going on, I feel you need more in terms of how the characters are acting and what's going on, where people are melting and everything. It seems you need more claustrophobia in terms of expressing that. And that's just my opinion. And like I say, another example, this is why I say how certain aspect ratios work better than others. I know, like John Carpenter's The Thing is a great example of why I say I'm glad that was filmed in widescreen, because even though it's a claustrophobic movie, you have this aspect of saying like what's to the side or what's to here, to say like anything could attack you and you don't know where it's coming from. And being in that kind of space, with that kind of format, you don't want to know where the danger is coming from. Whereas, like I say, the H Man, I feel like it needed to have that aspect ratio closed up to really show like you can't really say where it's coming, because it's so much going on. But I feel it works better with that format. But that is like again, that's just my opinion. That's how I see it, and that shows right there when a person has an opinion about something. That shows right there that they're not leaning on someone else's thought process. You're leaning on your own, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, exactly, man. And that's just the thing. But yeah, you have valid points, man, and it makes sense. Like there's certain films that are like, especially the first Gamera movie. That I have to. I love it in black and white. That's it's totally, love it in black and white.
Right.
And there's so many movies I can't like I don't know why they're not coming to me in black and white, but it's like there's so many other movies that are beautiful. But aside from that, bro, like I said, you gave it a 10. I gave it a freaking 9.5. It's just 5 little points, dude. I mean, but I would just love to see the blood aspect, the horror aspect of how vibrant it would be in color.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just me. Like I said, bro. I mean, that's me. If nobody don't like it, like I said, here's a big fucking FU.
Well, I'll give it. I ham it up for you. It's like, yeah, take that and do what you will. Exactly.
Yeah, because it's like, but I mean, but don't get me wrong. That it's still like I said, it's an amazing film, bro. I mean, I bought it for a reason, and it's something if I want to throw on, like Ron, like imagine Ron being like you said, you had a point. Imagine Ron being in black and white, like that'd be weird.
It would be, because you would not. Some of the moments in that film, especially at the end when Homeboy cuts off another poisonous snake character in there, female, when he cuts her head off, you see all that blood just like a fountain. It's like if you caught that in black and white, like it could work, but it's like it's not going to be as effective,
Yep.
So I feel like that's like,
yeah, and Sanjuro. I actually liked Yojimbo was good, but I liked Sanjuro better. For some reason, I like Sanjuro a lot better, man. And because that one's gory as hell, bro. Like the last point of the song, dude. I mean, the last point of that movie, dude. Whoa, dude! Like, holy shit! Like, it's good shit. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you got a chance, it's on. I got it on. I
know I've seen on Jimbo, but I don't think I've seen Supper.
Yeah, Yojimbo. I like Yojimbo. Yojimbo was good, but I liked Sanjuro better. But it's still pretty good, man. But
yeah,
like I said, man. But besides that, bro, thank you for joining me, man. As always,
Yeah.
That's we're to wrap it up, guys. And to wrap up volume 30, man, for going on 5 years of the Sci-Fi Society, man, and we ain't going nowhere, bro. We're still gonna throw out more stuff out there. I'm gonna get with I'll pass it to Jedi Granville first to see what he's got coming up next, and then then we'll go from there.
Yeah, well, I've got something coming up on another channel with someone where we're going to be talking about a 1980, I think it's 1980 or 1981 film called Miss 45. And I'm trying to see, was there anything else? Because I know I know for future reference, I know me and film have to talk about Blood In, Blood Out. I'm trying to see if we'll be able to do it this month, but if it doesn't, we'll try to do it next month. And like I said, I want all three of us to be available to talk about that film because that's a discussion we need to talk about. I mean, it's going to be on my channel, and we're going to go in depth with it because this is a 3 hour long film. But knowing us, we make it a 4 hour talk. So I don't know, but we'll see. But we definitely need to talk about that one for sure. And various others. I'm trying to say what was else. What else I had? Hold on a second. I think I got it written down here. It's let's see. Some my mind be going blank sometimes. Yeah, I got not that. It's something else. It's yeah, I got something coming up where I'm going to be talking about. When I'm going to be discussing top 10, well, not, when I say top 10 famous composers, I'm going to be discussing where, hopefully I have a panel of them too, people where we're going to be discussing, because this is going to be a thing I'm going to be doing on my channel where I'm taking film composers and we're going to be discussing what's your favorite score from this particular composer.
Yeah.
And it's going to be up for grabs. The first one is going to be Ikafube, because he's totally a genius at his scores, his music. And I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't get the kudos that he deserves, but he was a genius in what he did because some of the scores that he did, and not necessarily for Godzilla films, but other films that he's done. And like I say, his last score, which was Godzilla versus Destroyer, it's way more powerful than I think people may give it credit for. Not because it's his last score, but he really brought a lot of energy for that one. And like I say, I want to kind of hone in and people give their all and talk about it and everything. But that's later down middle of the month or later down end of the month. But that's what's in the can for right now. But that's pretty much all I got for right now. And that's
Yeah. No, man. I mean, and I'm looking on the phone, man. I'm looking on trying to get up the freaking date because I know I'm trying to remember. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's the other thing. We're supposed to do. Yeah, I'm supposed to get up with you on the 14th with.
With Deep Phonetic for the Chinese Connection.
Chinese Connection. I was gonna say
the first time for. It's going to be the first time for, and that one's going to be consensus. So that one's going to be
okay.
That one's going to be consensus crew. Yeah, consensus crew is going to be the first time on my channel. We're going to talk about the legendary Sifu Bruce Lee, and I'm happy for that one. But yeah, man, that's good on the one for just let me and D know. I'll probably be open, for Blood In, Blood Out, of course. Let me know, and then But yeah,
I gotta see what his schedule. If I can try to squeeze it in on a weekday, if he's available, good. But if he's if it's on a weekend, like I say, it's got to be the weekend because for sure.
Yeah, because he wasn't. Yeah, because I'm surprised for this month he wasn't available at all for anything.
Yeah.
So he said the 14th, and then for after the 14th, when we do Chinese Connection. I want to get down on. I want to bring back Gamera again.
Yeah.
For Gamera for War. What do you call War of the Monsters, aka Gamera versus Barugan. And then actually wait. Hold on. No. I'm that one. That one will be. We got to do after Chinese Connection. We got to do Kids.
Oh yes, that's yes. I remember you mentioned
We
something.
gotta do kids, um, and then do Gamera versus Barugan, and then after Gamera versus Barugan, we got to bring back the Big G and do Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll pick. We still got a few when we start. I got Sinbad. Got Predator Badlands. Um,
Yes, I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm thinking.
yeah,
Remember bringing
Predator
that up.
Badlands. Amazing film, bro. That's a great freaking film. I love that
That's a
film.
very underrated film, but yeah,
I
it's
love that film, man. That's totally in my alley, man. But we'll see. Maybe I might switch it up. Maybe I might do kids and then Predator Badlands and then we do Gamera or Godzilla. But because we did well, actually no, we did one. I did one last month, and this is I thought I was I don't know why I was thinking we were still in February, but but yeah, we're already in March. So
yeah. We're in March, baby.
yeah, so those are what I got. I might make little additions if I decide to do maybe one more,
Hmm.
uh, maybe maybe two a month. Probably try two a month depending on how I feel, and then
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, do it in its not so much the time, but do it at a time where you, like I say, you're comfortable and you're feeling well enough, and do it. Yeah, just do that, But like
yeah,
I
no,
said,
and then I'll get with you, but I'll get with you after after we're done with this. But yeah, so far just Chinese connection, and then whenever you let me know we want to do blood and blood out, and
yeah.
then kids, and then kids, keeping kids will be out. Kids will also be a consensus.
Uh huh.
That one will also be consensus. Um, and yeah, this I want to keep it with more gritty, real, raw shit and
Yeah.
raw shit, and then get back to the science figures because we did Gamera, we already did Record of Ragnarok, we did the Amazing ET, and if you guys hadn't seen the ET, man, that is probably mine and Walter's most emotional video
Yes.
we've ever done. I've never cried. I've never cried on any of my any rather it be a podcast, a live stream, or a video discussion. But that one I couldn't help it, man. I just couldn't help it.
It's no way you're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna say there's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah, like that one, and oh, just and another thing, I might bring minus one into before the year ends.
Okay.
Because I haven't done minus, and there's a few other ones I'm going to mention right now that me and you are going to revisit, and down the line in the future, we're going to revisit Event Horizon 1-on-1. We're going to revisit,
Okay.
and we're going to revisit Gojira 54. Going to
Hmm.
that one, and bro, remember, here's one that I want to say towards the end of the year. Me and you are going to do Godzilla, the Return of Godzilla / Godzilla 1985.
Ah, yes. I think
Once,
that's a very
yeah,
good.
yeah. Once because I'm not doing them in order. I'm doing ones that I want to do first. I'm not like
For
everybody else.
yourself,
I
yeah.
have to do them in order. Fuck that. Everybody stop following the fucking rules, man. Do your own shit.
No, that's what I say. Don't fall. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, so,
I don't do what people expect me to do. I do whatever the fuck I want to do.
hmm.
Yeah, that's that. So far, that's it, guys. But I mean, remember, fuck, volume 30, man. And we talked about a good history of the Sci-Fi Society, man. And things change, people come and go, but the Sci-Fi Society is still forever, bro. Still raw, still real, but now more fucking savage. And I love the fact that it's smaller, and it's easier for it's easier for me and you now to break down single films instead of gathering them all and bunching up in one freaking city, man, because that would take us like 5 or 6 hours, and we can't do that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, brother. But everybody who was watching, man, I want to thank you again, Jedi Grand Bell, aka Sexual Chocolate, for joining me, man. Uh, I can't wait for Blood and Blood Out, for Chinese Connection, for kids, Badlands, Gamera, Godzilla, whatever we got coming. We do. You brought up Scarface. I want to bring up Scarface too, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, no. I think Scarface is.
you got New Jack City.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other ones that are more like say going harder when it comes to consensus and
Mhm.
switching them out. But besides that, guys, but I want to thank everyone who did watch the video discussion, man. And we're always keeping it raw. We always keep it real. This is Daniel True, AK. This is Daniel True Savage, representing the Sci-Fi Society, the Consensus Crew, joined by my brother Jedi Grant Bell, man. And remember, after 30 volumes in 5 years, man, we are the Sci-Fi Society. We will keep everybody updated on what we got coming next. maybe some people from the new group, True Savage Gaming / Sci-Fi Society, will join in. But besides that, hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. This is Daniel, True Savage, and Jedi Granville, and we are out.
Howdy. 5,000.